Hi everyone, come back to another episode of Miss Nhi podcast. You guys know that how much I love to bring real people, real story, and authentic story outside there that inspire me first, and then I want to share with people that it still have a lot of story that are amazing for you to learn. People think it's learning something is you have to go to school or do certain thing, but for me personally, I believe we can learn from anyone around the world just based on their experience and their story. And today is Alex. Alex is also one of my good friends as well. He will help me so much in the past that I'm so like it's my honor to have him on the show as well, because in Singapore to know some master like him, to know what he do and sincerity work with heart is a really it's an honor to have him in the show. Hello Alex, welcome to my show, and let's tell the audience who are you and what you've been doing.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for inviting. Hi. So, all audience, my name is Alex Low. I'm basically a Feng-shui practitioner. So, I do a lot of Chinese metaphysics. But for me, I look at Chinese metaphysics in a different perspective because when we talk about Feng-shui, when we talk about Chinese metaphysics, the first impression most audience, all of you will have, oh, this is something superstitious. This is something traditional. So old-fashioned one, only old people do, only old traditional. My grandfather believed in all these things. So because of they have during those days they don't have much education, so all these things are bluff people. So,
Yeah,
but as you know, I'm not very young, but neither am I very old.
you
So
are
so
very young.
yeah, older than you. So basically, but I approach Chinese metaphysics in a different approach, in a very modern and very scientific approach. From the process, I realized that actually it is not superstitious. It is actually a science. It is actually an art. And recent years, because of all our trainings, that personal development trainings that we have gone through and all these things, okay, I realized that actually we can also look at it in a personal development aspect of it. So it's just that we misunderstood what our ancestors want to tell us. It can be a personal development topics that our ancestor want to pass it down to us.
Yeah. When I didn't know about this, when I meet Alex the first time, I'm super into
Skeptical.
a skeptical and down on earth until when I call him come over my house. I will tell you guys true story one, and he know me. I'm very direct and tell the story. So I call him to the house, and actually, me and my husband already have a problem, and we are in the process of divorcing. And I don't tell Alex that because I want to say like, oh, if you know so much, right? Based on my house, you should know. And it's surprising me when he walk around the house and he come to me. This is what he say. I still remember. He will say, "Can I ask you something? I think it's not nice to ask, but I think the bedroom is not good for your marriage." And he just say that only. And I was like, what the heck? No? And I think it's a job of the feng shui master. I think this is a harder thing, like something is not right, and how to tell the person that it's not right would make the person don't feel like what are you telling, like why are you telling, like not angry the person. And Alex did it well, and from that moment I dropped my gut. I'm start asking him more and more, and even I watching what he shared with me. So when I don't think he remember what he said in my house because he sees so many house, right? The recording is still in my phone, and the note I still write. And he when back then when he come to my house is 2019. He looked at my kitchen side, and he told me that the next 2 years keep whatever you're doing, which is public speaking, like training and teaching. He say by 2022 it will have result, and I keep that in my mind all the time. That sentence he give me, and true enough, my business went up like crazy for the last 6 months and 9 months, and it continue going right now. So I and like I tell you something, one thing Alex tell me that I learned also. He say, information is just information, you still have to take action. And I agree with him because I can hear what he say and I sit down do nothing, and I like, oh, 3 more years sure something happen, I'm just wait, but not, I take action. And that's why a result come, and that's why I start understand more what Alex explained to me. I think you need to come to my house again, like give me more like correct my house again, because I need another big mouth mountain that I'm going to climb, that I need a lot of their support. So yeah, get back to the question.
Yeah.
Where this started, and how do you happen figured out that you want to be a feng shui master and you learn this?
Actually, all this started way back when I was a small kid. Actually, during my days, my generation, usually we grow up with grandparents because that is the time where parents start to go to work and all these things. So they cannot really take care of us. So grandparents will take care of us. So I'm very influenced by traditional culture. So I will actually follow my grandmother around. So I noticed that I'm very fascinated by our own Chinese culture. So when I start to go for education, when I start my schooling, and then I will start to read books. So I started off all these things self study. So but even with I realized that with self study, I pick up a bit of information here, a bit of skill here, and everything. So I do it on my own. I do it on my own, trial and error.
Mm.
So only about 20 years ago, then I meet my first elementary teacher in Singapore. So that is where the whole official journey starts. After learning from my teacher in Singapore, almost 3 years, I noticed that he also got a teacher. I think it's stupid, right? Because everybody have a teacher. So I wanted to learn more. So I discovered that my teacher in Singapore have another teacher in Taiwan. So that means it's almost my grandmaster already. Okay, my grandmaster. So I actually went over to Taiwan to learn from my grandmaster. So again, I followed him for almost 3 to 5 years. Then suddenly one day, because every year I will travel to Taiwan. Every year I travel to Taiwan to visit him. So suddenly one day, before I leave, he told me, Alex, go back to Singapore to start a school. And it
Mm.
shocked me, It shocked me. Start a school? I say, first of all, I have a teacher in Singapore, which is actually officially teaching. So actually, that means we are doing the same thing. So, but he said, no, no, you just do your things. It took me almost 3 weeks. I told him, can I decide later? Let me go back to Singapore, think about it, because it's something very big. So I came back to Singapore, looking at the situation. I think the situation is slightly different because in Singapore, most of the people may not be interested to learn, but
Mm.
instead they wanted service because the society is
Yes.
different. Ah, you want to eat a bread, you just go to the shop. You don't learn how to bake, right? So I come back. I started a consultancy company, but at the same time, like now, I do a lot of sharing. I do a lot of public sharing. So hopefully from there, let people understand what Chinese metaphysics is about, what all this thing is about. It's not superstition, but yet it can be very scientific. So everything start in that way without knowing. Then the whole journey now about 20 years already. Yeah.
Wow, 20 years of experience and 20 years of practice. You know, in Money
Yeah.
and You, we have a term of mastery tree, and Alex is a one of example of mastery tree. You know, like
Thank
like
you.
when he figured out what he wants to do, and you see, it's like, and you make me have an energy when every time I meet you as a feng shui master, right? You doesn't come with like a greediness or you want to do it because you want to help people make more money or so on. It's just sincerity that want to help and add value to the world. And that's what I learned when I around people like you know. So let's come back, like, I'm sure in the journey of doing this is have up and down and the challenge. So what is the lesson you learn over the years? You do of course many lessons, but what is a memorable for you that you think the audience can learn from that?
I think most important things now cross my mind. You say what is most important? I think one incident that happened.
Mm,
Quite similar to your case. Quite similar to the
mm,
case. One of my client happened to I mean, looking at I went to the place to do audit, see feng shui for the house. Then like I discover that maybe the couple is having problem,
mm.
okay, from the environment, like you say, lor. So it crossed my mind that, hey, how should I be, how I can always tell him that, hey, how is your, because I pull him aside, I pull him aside. So I say, how's your relationship with your wife? Because it's a husband,
That's so
it's a
weird, right?
yeah. but
Yeah.
but I at that time I still haven't figured out how to talk, like, because
Ah, yes,
talking
yes.
is an art. Talking is an art. But this
It
is
is.
it is this
It
it
is
is
so
this
sensitive
incident.
to ask this kind of question.
Correct. But it is this case that actually built me up. This is the case that triggered me to learn how to actually speak. And
Mm.
speaking can my job, speaking can help somebody, but I can also kill somebody with my words. So
Yes.
so so to me, so I pull him aside and ask him, hey, I said, how is your relationship with your wife actually? So to my actually not I'm not surprised, but what he told me actually give me a shock a bit. So he was telling me, if not for the boy, because they have a boy, he said,
Mm.
if not for the boy, I would have divorced. We have divorced years ago already. So they
Mm.
are still staying together under the same roof, but because of the boy, and they have
Mm.
not been communicating with each other for the past 1 year.
Wow.
So at that moment, a thought suddenly struck me. Suddenly struck me. I can show off by saying that, I know, but looking at your
Yep.
bedroom, I know you're having this problem already.
Mm.
I think that one I will score point, right? Wow, this master very
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Very good.
But
Yeah.
suddenly this thought pull me back. There's a thought coming in, pull me back. Alex, you cannot talk in that way.
Mm.
If you talk in that way, I'm very sure that this man, this client, just need assurance.
Mm.
If I say in that way, maybe tomorrow he will be heading to the lawyer firm.
Yeah.
Correct. In
Yeah.
fact, you see,
Yeah.
my feng shui master also say I should divorce one. I did
Yeah.
not say that he should divorce. It's just that
Yeah.
I endorse. I
Yep.
endorse. I tell him, since you know that you stay together because of your boy, so you know that staying together communication is important. So can you find another way to communicate with her? If you don't want to talk to her, can you write to her? Can you text her? Can you do any way to communicate? Because it's a very
Mm.
unhealthy situation.
Yes.
So this incident actually struck me very hard. So because in our trade, I'm sure some of the audience may have met certain masters and all those things. The way that they say things is very blunt,
Yeah.
and being very blunt, sometimes it may make the situation worse.
Yes.
We are, I think that is something that makes me think that I'm not a decision maker for you.
Mm.
I'm only an outsider. I'm only a third party looking at your situation to show you looking into your life in a different perspective.
Yep.
End of the day, you are the decision maker. Whether to go or not to go, to do or not to do, is up to you.
Yes.
We are only somebody that guide you. Only that's all.
Correct.
So I think this is something that I learned. That to me is very important.
Yep.
So thanks. That's why I think thanks for your kind words. So I think I practice. So to me, how you put across words. I think for all the
Yes.
audience, even whatever that you say, because some will say that no, it's the truth. Why don't you tell? But certain things, put it this way, if you put across in a negative way, you may have negative result. But if you put
Yep.
in a positive way, it may have positive result. So
Yes.
to us, positive and negative, it depends on how you want to go about.
Yes, I agree with Alex on this side, and I so agree with you like how we communication, because I still remember back then that the way you share is never about like, oh, you should go and divorce your husband, you know. And maybe people hear this will like, oh, so you listen to your feng shui master to divorce. No, the divorce going already happened, and it's been going on underneath for many years, like 3 years of problem between us. So the feng shui master coming have nothing to do with my love life or my relationship, right? It's just me consciously realize that okay, it's not healthy, it's not right. What you support me that over that time is you enhance the energy in the house to make me and my daughter bonding more, which is thanks for that because it's helped me a lot. Other people may don't believe in energy and stuff, but for me, I'm a spiritual person, I'm awakening person, I'm very very believe in universe, and I very believe in energy, and I believe universe give us people come to life for a reason, you know. Sometimes the message the universe try to give me, it have to be go through somebody, you know. It cannot knock my shoulder and say, hey, I'm a universe, I tell you something. So I'm very aware of that, and the same, like, you know, a lot of things you give me that it gave me a very different perspective about the art at the side of feng shui, like you say, you know. you sleep better, the energy flow in the house, and the energy here is like you share. Even you open the door and you feel the air today is good, it mean you have a better day already, you know. And sometimes a lot of obstacle in the house that unnecessary, and I think is you just book it to be nice, actually not, right? So yeah, it's a lot of things that working in process. Is interesting, the story you just share. I think it's so sensitive and may not everybody will willingly to deal with it, and you make it to the way like impress. So over the years, okay, so now we talk about the story that like people think is negative, but actually you have the way to solve. How about the upside? Like how do you come to some people's house and support them and help them to achieve what they want? So what are the story that you experience that? And by the way, you guys can listen to this and you guys can try on your own. Like I say, this is what my personally believe, and my channel is all about my personal belief and what I've been experienced with the person. So I love to hear from Alex, like what the story, because you know have a two type, right? You coming rather the people in the low, you bring them up at balance, or they already have what they want to go to the next level. I'm at the
Yeah.
second one right now, so that's why I asked her, because Alex going to come to my house again soon.
Yeah. So for ups, okay, look at it this way.
Mm,
I don't take credit that when things goes up,
mm,
because a lot of people feel that, oh, it's because of Alex come to my house, did my feng shui, that's why I become successful and all these things. So I think it's a wrong concept. I think it's a
mm.
wrong concept. Okay, let me share with you this concept. You
Yes.
look at it this way. I always share that my clients, okay, that like all of you, maybe in the future, all this audience. So when I provide you a service, when I provide you an audit, okay, you are just like somebody. All of you are somebody that have an ATM card in hand.
Mm,
You have an
mm.
ATM card, but
Yes.
you all do not know how to use this ATM. You do not
Yes.
know what is the function of this ATM card itself. So
Mm,
my job is to guide you how to use this ATM card,
mm,
key in your own password, and draw money out. Draw
mm,
money out. So when you
mm.
draw money out, you'll be very grateful. You'll be very
Yeah.
happy. Wow, I got money and all this thing. Then you say that, hey, thanks to Alex, Alex give me this money. Okay.
Yeah.
But you think about it. Did I give you? No, I did not
No.
give you at all.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is your own money.
Yep.
That's why you will encounter sometimes customer customer very cute. So some customer will say, hey Alex, Master Alex, you help and make 1 million. I not greedy one. I want 50,000 can already.
Yes.
Can you help me or not? I told them I cannot do that, no, because whether can you make 1 million or can you make 50,000, it depends on yourself. That means if
Yes.
your bank account have 1 million, when you do the process, you plug in the card, ATM card, you have 1 million. But
Mm,
if your account only have 50,000, you
mm.
plug in the card, you cannot draw 1 million. So
Yes.
whether how much can you get or how much success can you go, it
Mm,
depends on yourself. It's not on me.
mm.
It's not on me. So this is a misunderstanding that most people have, thinking that,
Yep.
oh, with Alex, then I can solve. I can be anyone that I want in the world. We only guide you along your path so that you can do better, because
Mm.
you all do not have a clear picture. So
Yep.
as somebody, as a third party, we can have a clearer picture. So yes, we can definitely help you to enhance another maybe 20-25%, better
Yes.
than whatever that you have. Okay.
Yep.
So end of the day is your own potential. Is your own potential.
Yes, I agree. So I wish, because he say about this, that I remember one more story that he come to my house. So the plant that he used to be in living room, he tell me you should don't live here because it's the present. If you live here, will be present the other person. You know what I'm talking. So if you have to move to the other corner, which is there, is present you. But just remember that 2-3 more years, the plant won't be survived. It means you die to born again. Something he explained like that, and I was like, are you sure or not? How can the plant just die by what you say? And it's true enough though. It's died last year and I cannot save it anymore. And
Yeah.
I still have the pot there and I haven't have a new plant. But just to tell you, like, oh my god, all this thing is scary when you book a right place and the energy just flow exactly. No matter how much I buy, like fertilizer, everything, it's die. It's completely gone.
Mm.
Like it's just to take all the negative help me and then it disappear, and And you know, I'm very a nature and animal lover, and I love earth and stuff. So with me, the plant die, I feel like another human die. You know, I feel sad because the plant with me from day one I moved to this house, and because it died, oh my god, I was sad for a month. Like I'm trying to save it, and I remember back Alex say when it die is you have to book it aside though. It's meant to be. It's mean your past is done, and you have to say goodbye to your past. And even I know that it's so hard for me to see a die plant. So now I get back to the question I asked you. Because okay, one more thing, you know what? Oh my god, I share so much about Alex. I love his work, you know.
Thank you.
A lot of things he give is so cheap and easy to find in your house. Okay. So this is my curious question again. Where does that come
Mm.
from that you have this creativity stuff that to make feng shui become so cheap? You know, it's not like our old fashioned kind of feng shui and not like outdated, you know, and sometimes it's just the IKEA stuff, or you can go to any grocery stuff. And I was like, function no need to be so hard. How do he make it so creative, especially for young people like me, you know? Sometimes
Mm.
you want to book feng shui stuff in the house, but you don't want people to know that you book feng shui. Even we doesn't deny or something, but I just tired of explaining why I have to leave certain thing in the house, and I don't want to explain. So where is that come from, and how was that started? I really enjoy that, by the way.
Okay, so to understand that, I think let me explain about our environment first. So
Yeah.
basically, our living environment are full of energy.
Mm,
Whether you believe or you don't believe, it exists. It's just air. You know, whether you believe or you don't believe, we still breathe in the. So in our living environment, there is a lot of energies. So to a lot of audience, maybe the word energy sounds very superstitious again. I cannot see
mm.
energy. How can you prove that it exists? So
Air also
if it's not
energy, what?
so if it's not proven, if it's not scientific enough, then can we drop the word energy? Maybe we don't use the
Mm,
word energy lah. So let's talk
yes.
about magnetic field. I think
Mm,
nobody can deny magnetic field exists, right? Okay.
it
So when we
is.
talk about magnetic field, it becomes science already. So it's actually different magnetic field in our living environment. So our ancestors have methods of how to read all this magnetic energy. So
Mm,
with this tapping, so magnetic energy have positive and negative.
yep.
So we want to the whole thing about feng shui is about avoiding negative energy
Mm,
and enhancing and tapping on positive energy. I think it's
yep.
the same like personal development. You want to avoid all your negative friend. You want to get along with all your positive friend. Then
Oh
you
my god,
become
yes.
positive person.
Yeah.
Correct? So
Yes.
when we are meeting friends, we do that. So when we are living in our environment, because we spend almost one third of every day in the house.
It is.
We
Yeah.
spend one third of the day in the house. So we want our house to be a positive charge environment.
Yep.
So when you're in a positive charge environment, you have a clearer mind. When
Yep.
you have a clearer mind, you make better decision. When you make
Yep.
better decision, then everything good comes.
Yep.
When everything good comes, money come. Then you say, "Wow, this
Yeah.
house are very good feng shui. I make a lot of money."
Yeah.
Okay, but actually,
Yeah.
actually, it's not that this house make money for you, but it is a chain reaction
Yeah.
one after another. So it's
It
the
is.
same for the bad energy. So if you have negative energy, you don't have a clear mind. When you don't have a clear mind,
Mm,
you make wrong decision. No? Then everything
mm.
fall apart. Then you blame the
Yep.
house. This house bad
Yeah.
energy one. Every time I stay, everything bad. It is a
Yep.
chain reaction. So my job
Yep.
is to identify and help you to tap. And tapping energy, you say, how can I be so creative and all these things? Actually, it's not about creativity. It's about understanding the logic of things.
Mm,
It is all the while because that's why Chinese traditional metaphysics and feng shui all this, let people feel that it's a super is something old fashioned. It's because they follow blindly. Oh,
mm.
last time you why do you put this? For example, you buy the what the
The
Zhao
cat.
Cai Mao, the cat, the fortune cat.
Yeah.
Oh, you put here,
Oh my god, it's so
why?
ugly. I'm sorry to say that, but it's so ugly.
Yeah,
If you give me
yeah.
that, I will never live in my house. It's
I don't do
ridiculous.
that. Why you use that one? Don't know. My master say must use one. Okay. Then you ask the master why. My grandfather say good one. Yeah. So you basically you just follow blindly because the blind lead the blind. But if you understand the logic behind energy, why is that so? Then it becomes that it's not the object that you put, it's no longer the cat that you put, no? It is the logic behind things.
Yeah.
So example, I think I like to use lah. I like to use instead of putting a water fountain. You know, Feng Shui always like to
Yeah,
use a
yeah.
water fountain and all those things.
Oh
So
my
for me,
God, that's so scary.
I would just because you need water, right? Because
Yeah,
water energy. So
yeah,
basically, you need a water energy. So for me to put a water energy, you just buy bottles of mineral water. Mineral water is also water, right? So that
yes,
means everything have energy. So this
yeah,
bottle of water have water energy. So if you need
yeah,
water energy, you just place it there, lor. Instead
yeah,
of putting a huge water feature and all things, it
yes,
works the same. I think for ladies, it's easy to understand. I always make
yes,
fun of my wife because, as you know, ladies, you all buy expensive bags, right? You all buy
yeah.
expensive handbags
Not
and all
me,
these
but
things.
yeah, in general, all
Okay.
my girlfriend, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
in general, all ladies like to buy bags, okay,
yeah,
big one and all this thing. I always make fun of them. Okay, I say I use red color plastic bag.
yeah.
The function of bags is to carry things, correct?
It
So it
is
doesn't matter whether is it Chanel or whatever, it still carry things, right? I use
correct.
plastic bag also carry things. So
Mm,
because of my training, so I look at things into the very basic, back to basic. What is the purpose? The purpose is to
mm,
carry things. So that means whether a Chanel or a normal bag, it works, then it works. So of course, some I would say because of this trade, everything is cost are expensive lah. Costs are
yes,
expensive.
of
So
course. And
that's
also,
why
you cannot
some
use again because it's ugly, you know. So have to
uh,
like think very hard to get something that it can reusable.
reuse. So for me, is most important is make it practical
Mm,
and for if you use traditional thing, that people will feel that it is very old fashioned. So why not look at it in a very modern way? So that
mm.
I always tell my client after we do audit in your house, people walk into the house will not notice because I think you have visited a lot of other people's. So
Yes,
once
yes.
you walk in only, I call them the Feng Shui Museum.
I know what you're talking. I know what
Yeah.
is that. And you
Uh,
guy who watching this, I think you know what is that. Oh
Yeah.
my god,
So
it's so
feng shui
funny. Yes, it
museum,
is.
once you walk in, you tell, hey, you see feng shui. They tell you, no lah, I don't want. You believe they don't or not.
You know, I
So
have that experience when I go back Vietnam, and I'm sorry, but it's really some people still book the whole house with all full of feng shui. And I don't know why they book. And even I think they just bought because they go to the feng shui shop and they tell you you should buy this, and then they bought, right? But it, like you say, it really like a museum. I don't understand. You just make me more confused to walk to your house, and it make me scary. To be honest, it's scary because if you so into this, right? I mean, enough is enough. You know, like okay, you have some enhance, then here is I'm okay. But when you over it, you know something is like too over also make people listen to do work with you because if now I do business with you, everything you will like, wait, let me call my feng shui first. Then you not make decision. That's scary to me. You know, wait, my feng shui say today I need to stop work with you. Then I scared. But I know Alex won't do that. Lah. So I'm just explain it's really also have a fake and the real outside there. Okay.
I won't call it, but put it this way, I won't call it fake lah. But it's just that going to the extreme is always no good.
ah,
You know, or not.
yeah,
I mean, we still have to lead a normal life. We still have to
yeah.
lead a normal life. So this actually helps to enhance part of it. So
Mm.
don't put your whole life into it. You know, so there are many other decisions that you need, but this is just an enhancement.
Yes,
So by doing that, it helps the journey to be smoother, but it will
yes.
not make you a smooth journey if you don't put in other effort also. Okay,
Yes,
so to me, your own effort play a part, play a bigger
it,
part actually, play a
it
bigger
is.
part. Mm.
Yeah. When Alex say this, I remember when I say thanks to him. I think we just met back after 3 years. Because it's COVID and so on. It doesn't mean I forget him. Yeah. I'm the person very little talk, you know. I do first and then I share. I'm not the person that walk around say I will do this and then later, you know, I don't know why, but my character is like that. So only I achieve something, And then I come back and I say, thanks, Alex. You play a big part of support me on this. And he was so humble to don't take credit, but you did contribute something for my life. And I'm grateful for that moment when I needed help. And you sit there and like I say, what I promised I will do the next chapter of my life, whatever you needed help, I will always here for you as well. And that's what I love about money and you that we have friends that ask more about us than who we are, right? And support each other. And Alex is a very good heart person, which is that's what I feel. When I'm around him, it's like you come with a heart like want to help people first, and it's similar like me. And like we talk about energy, so I believe in that. Like you can be around with someone and people want to help because money or the sincerity want to support and support my dream or give me with better life by their value to add on to me. So another question come up to me, and the when you sharing like this thing people say only Asian do like feng shui and stuff. How do you
Mm.
deal with people who never know about feng shui? How do you deal with that kind of client that one of their partner interested in what your work and invite you and so on? And also like Westerner people, because for me right now, I believe even Westerners that apply a lot of feng shui stuff also.
Yes, I think you may be surprised. You may be surprised that actually Westerner are more interested than Easterner. Okay, that are
Ah,
Eastern, because like I say, because Eastern will always feel that this is something old, this is
yep.
something traditional. Okay, so our grandfather believed one must be old fashioned one, but Eastern, the Westerner different. Westerner are more open to exploring. So
Mm,
these are something new to them. And thanks to them, that's why I would say this 10, 20 years, a lot of changes in the concept itself, because
yes.
we learn to explain it in a more scientific way. So when things can be explained in a very scientific way, I think it's easier for newer generation to understand. That's why last time we talk about chi, we talk about energy. So it
Mm,
sounds very vague. So that's why now we understand that it's talking about magnetic field. Magnetic
mm,
field is more scientific to them. But true enough, that is look at it this way. All the while our ancestor is talking about magnetic field. It's just that
it is.
the interpretation is different.
Yep.
And a lot of some customer will feel that, hey, Alex, you say every year you must your energy shift. Every year I must ask you to come and visit my house so that you rearrange for me. This is a tactic that you all make money so that every year you charge me. Actually, no, 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 no. It's not about that. You look at it. So all the energy shift, the magnetic field shift and all this thing got to do with astrology itself. It
It
got to
is.
do with the planet, because the
Mm,
planet is ever moving.
yes.
So it's just that because of movement of the planet, our energy just shifted.
Yes.
So we somehow our ancestors have this formula to calculate shift
Mm,
the movement. So with that, we actually that's why for your house, I will say that this plant maybe 2 years later it cannot survive, because by then the energy will have shifted to where the plant position is. So it
yes.
will actually affect them the plant is so plants are more sensitive, animals are more sensitive,
Mm,
humans are not as sensitive as them. So when
yeah.
there is a shift of energy, they will feel it first. They will be impacted first.
Mm,
So from there, you will see that, why my plant die? Okay, because so
yeah.
actually
Sad
is
eh?
a formula.
Yeah. Sad eh, especially the people who love plant like me. I love
That's
the
right.
plant so much that I don't want to bring all of them home, but I stay next to the park, and that's the reason. That's how
Okay,
much I love
okay.
nature and I respect tree and so on.
Mm.
So when my
I
plant
think
die, I was like, oh, so
I think
sad.
look at it this way is just another indication, no? Because without
Yeah.
you should be grateful to the plant, okay? Because
Yeah.
the plant have done his duty, okay,
Yes,
to
it
let
is.
you learn a lesson in life.
Yes, it is.
So with that, it will make you a better person. So I think
Yes.
the death of the plant is something honorable and something
Yeah.
worth it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it now I'm start appreciate more stuff in the house when in terms of when you enhance stuff or support me or ask me to do certain thing in the house that support my energy. I more look at that thing more grateful. Like I'm aware of it is here in my house, and thanks to support my energy, thanks to remind me certain thing in every day in the morning, because you also give me certain word that I stick certain thing in the house that for me to actually is that nothing like superficial kind of word, yeah, it just motivate. But because you tell me book at the right spot, so when I feel down, I read the word, I'm like, hmm, that's
Look at
right.
it this way: it's actually more of a, actually feng shui is only on your environment. The
Yeah,
the other part that is more important is your mindset. Is your mindset. So with the right environment and with the right mindset, that everything will be in place.
yeah,
Then you will see result. But if you have a right environment, but
mm,
you do not have the right mindset,
yes,
you may not see result. If I explain it in this way, in a very good school,
mm,
but if you don't put in the effort to study,
yep,
you're not gonna have good results.
yep,
But if you can study very well, but you are in a not so good school,
yep,
so you have good result, but then you cannot excel that much.
yep,
So my job is to find you a good school, and your effort is your what you need to do is to put in the effort. Then you're
yes,
going to see result, and you're going to
yep,
excel.
yep.
Is it not the same as a personal coach or a training coach that teach you, how to excel? So that's why I look at it. Feng Shui or Chinese metaphysics is a traditional personal development topic.
Yes, yes, I agree. Because I'm a love to ask question. I think you know me by now. When every time I'm curious something, and of course I
Mm,
pay for a lot of coach and teacher to teach me to be where am I today. And I think I'm the most difficult student. They tell me they like, you're so annoying. You ask so much. And if people tell me that I ask so much, that's mean I'm start feel like, so you don't know the answer. And if you don't know the answer, and this is what I realized, the good coach will tell me, that's a good question, let me figure it out and I get back to you. Or they even say like, okay, I'm not that level yet, but you know what, that's a good question, I will learn or I will figure out who know it, and I will give it to you. So that is
mm,
full respect for me. And with Alex, when he was so patient, when because it's come from my personal experience with him, right? So he was so patient when I asked him for help, and he come, he explained, because I asked him why I need to do this part, why I need to book here, and he was so patient to explain. And that's what I know, you are love what you do, and important that you do it because you really want people you have to understand what you do. You cannot just blindly book something and you don't know why you have to book it. So, and come back, what you just shared is correct, it's a mindset, right? The mindset is right when in the right environment, and book work and hard work. And also same today, I really enjoy to share with you guys about topic of feng shui, because like we have um many things combined together to be success. Okay, luck is one of that, and then energy, and then hard work, and then a team, and then environment, and so on. Is a lot of things have to be combined together, and have to be a right time when people ready to receive it, and so on. And feng shui also just the add on. And I'll tell you, of course, not only feng shui add to my life to be where I am, definitely, but it is help. Yes, it is. It really helped me something that today I haven't said this in private with Alex, but later I will share with him that even I have bigger project and bigger plan that I need his support to look up, like to look the land that I'm going to board, and I'm going to build the building and so on. So I'm looking for
mm,
his help in the future as well. So now we come back to another question, like if people want to learn what you're doing, and I'm sure master all one day we will have to pass all the people, even me, I have mentee, because I know I cannot live forever. What the advice you will give to them if they want to start the journey like you to be a feng shui master?
Uh, it's a big question. It's a big question. I think I will address it in this way first. Traditionally, Eastern masters have this habit. When whatever they do, they will not explain to you.
Yeah,
So just like
back
you
then.
you have
Yeah.
experience. I ask you here. So then you ask why put here? Just follow lah.
Yeah,
I ask you to put is
just
for
do
your own good.
yeah.
You just. But for me, like I say, because I'm more newer generation, I want to
Yeah,
break away from tradition. Explain everything to my client. I will
Yes.
want my client to feel that, oh, it actually there's a logic behind things. Why is it so? And not that because of he is the master, he is more superior. What he asked me to do, I have to follow. No, that's not the way. That is not my style. At least that's not my style. So I'll always
Mm.
explain to my client how I get this information, why I can guess that what happened to you now. Is because from here that we get the information. So because of that, thanks to my teacher in Taiwan. So he is also a very non-tradition person. So when I leave Taiwan, he instructed me that when we do sharing, don't reserve, don't
Mm.
reserve our knowledge. So Eastern, I use the word Eastern, not only Chinese, so the whole
Mm.
Eastern. So the
Yes.
Eastern people have this bad habit. Whenever that they do sharing or when they do teaching, when they teach the student or they teach to the disciple, they will not teach 100%.
Yes.
They will keep
I
10%.
was so different with that, but yes, I agree. I aware of that.
They will keep 10%. Why do they have to keep 10%? That is to safeguard themselves. So
Mm.
that they will not let the student or they will not let the disciple override them.
Mm.
That means this student is better than me. When this student is better than me, then I will lose out.
Mm,
So
that
it is
not true.
because of this thinking, traditionally a lot of our tradition are actually lost. So my
Loss.
teacher
Yes.
was saying, if everybody keep 10%, everybody keep 10%, by 10th generation, everything gone.
Correct.
Because so to him he instructed us, not only me, he instructed all the students. Whenever we do sharing, this knowledge doesn't belong to us. This knowledge is exclusive to us. It belongs
Yes.
to our ancestors. It belongs to our
Correct.
culture. So it belongs
Yes.
to the whole world. Okay, all the people in the world. So
Yes.
it is our duty to pass it on. It
Correct.
is
I
our duty
agree.
to pass it on. So that is what he told us. Don't reserve when you do sharing. But at that time, I don't understand. I don't understand because I look at it in like more like a business. How can we tell our trade secret to people? Correct? We will
Mm.
not tell our trade secret to people. When we tell
Yeah.
trade secret to people, we will lose out.
Mm.
We will lose out. So at that time, I don't understand, but nevertheless, I still follow. So whenever I do sharing, whenever people ask, I will share with no reserve. Even on stage when I do public sharing and rest, I share. Never did I know that after all these years, I realized one thing. Thanks to my teacher's thinking, thanks to my teacher instruction, people respected me, and people feels that hey, Alex is somebody genuine.
Mm.
He's not hiding anything.
Yeah.
This I did not do it deliberately, but somehow because of the process itself, so people feel like, hey, Alex is somebody trustworthy, he will not hide and all things. So I'm sure you all will have come across certain speakers when you listen to some, when you ask, they will keep quiet. Or not keep quiet,
Yep.
they will bring you round. Like that, and you know that they're hiding. You know that they're
Of course.
hiding. They
Yeah.
don't want to tell you the truth. So thanks to I would say thanks to my teacher. So because of that, I developed that. Once if you ask me anything, I will teach you. Even my trade
Yes.
secret. As long you ask,
Yeah.
I will teach. So for people that is interested, I think in this era now is information overloaded at era. Information
Yeah.
overloaded. I recommend a different style. Don't read too much. Don't
Mm.
read too much. Because when you read too much, you will get confused. Because
Yep.
there's many people saying different things. Some will tell you you must face the south. South is good for you. So
Yeah.
then somebody will tell you no, north is good for you. Some will tell you east is good for you, west is good for you. The more you listen, the more confused you get. Okay.
Correct. I agree.
So I would recommend that if you find somebody, you find this teacher you are comfortable with and all these things, right? Follow that teacher. Okay, go in depth with it. Then later, when you have certain basis already, you build your foundation. Then you start to read a lot. Then you know how to differentiate what is the right info, what is a wrong info. Because now is era of tons of info, and this tons of info, only certain info are correct, certain info are fake informations. Okay, so good to first is also I think need to have more feeling for your tradition. So a lot of things is actually a part. Of course, for Western is different. Western, this is not tradition, it's something new. But for Eastern, have a liking for have a better understanding of what our tradition is about. Then from there, and look at it in a very scientific way, then you will have an aha moment. Oh, actually, our ancestors is actually very modern one. It's just that the way they interpreted is different only. That's all. Yeah.
Mm,
So
yeah.
do some reading, but don't trust everything that you read. Then along the way, pick up a bit of here, then try to figure out what is right and what is wrong. Okay. So
Mm,
that's why
that's a
for me, I do conduct a lot of sharing session. The main purpose is actually to educate the public what is the real meaning of a lot of things. Okay.
yes.
So I would say, come to think about it, sometimes the organizer is the one that reminds me, after we complete the sharing, the organizer say, "Hey, Alex, just now you did not do any sales. You did not do any sales closing and all those things." I said,
Yeah.
"No, no, no. My sharing is not to close sales. My
Yep.
sharing is purely on sharing." So
Yes,
if
I
they
agree.
feel that
I can
if
aware
they
of that.
feel if you feel that you have a need for it, then you come to me. I mean, I need
Yes.
not push my service to you. I think that is
Yes.
something I learned from Money and You. As long you do all the right thing, money will come. You don't
Yes.
chase after money. All you have
Yes.
to do is do all the right thing. When you do all the right thing, money is the byproduct of doing everything right.
Yeah. By the way, Alex also Money and You graduate, and
Yeah.
we know each other also. Like when we go Money and You as well. One question about Money and You, since you bring up Money and You, what flip chart you
Okay.
take away when first time you went to the Money and You class, and how was that experience to you?
I think the flip chart that until now it is still my most favorite flip chart. I'm not sure because I took Chinese Money and You so
Mm-mm.
maybe my flip chart is like it's the same, but I think maybe there is one flip chart that's saying accept whatever that you need to accept.
That's a good one.
Ah, so
Yeah.
so so to me, it's like uh, look at it in a very traditional way. Okay, so traditionally, what we want to achieve is we want to blend into the universe, or we want to
Yes.
blend into the environment. Okay,
Yep.
but a lot of times we don't want to blend into it.
Mm.
Instead, we want the environment to change according to what we want.
That's exactly the problem. Yes, I agree. It is. I also figured out that
That's
after
why
I go Money and You, I like
That's
surrender to
why that's why
universe.
that's why the biggest problem that we have now is environmental, right? That's why our ozone layer have a hole and all this thing. It's all because we are changing our environment to suit
Mm.
us. By
Mm.
by doing that, we're actually causing a lot of trouble.
Yes.
So this is because that we cannot accept whatever that we need to accept. We change. We change it to the bad thing. Change it
Yep.
to the bad thing. We cut down the forest, or not. We pollute the water and all these things. So that is because that we do not know how to accept whatever that we need to accept.
Mm.
Okay. So
Wow,
this
that's
impacted me.
so deep. By the way, you watch this part, please play replays like maybe 10 times to understand, because I understand what Alex say, but I want you
Uh,
guys to go back and forth with this. Yeah, continue,
uh,
Alex. Well, I love when
uh.
you bring this topic.
So it's the same thing for our life. A lot of times, our sadness, our anger comes from because we do not understand where we are. We do not understand our environment. That's why we feel very angry. We feel very upset. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you one example. I always like to use this example. I have my first love in when I was 20 years old. 20
Mm,
years. So it's a failure lah. I think some of the audience will have a successful first love, which is your partner now. For me,
yeah.
it's a failure. Okay, it's a failure.
We,
But
we, we call life lesson.
it's
Now
a
I
life
change the
lesson.
word. I say, when every time people talk about my ex, I was like, no, he is a lesson for
Uh,
me to learn to realize like how I should
yes.
choose a man better next time. So it's just a
Uh,
lesson.
so for at 20 years old, I failed my relationship at 20. Okay.
Mm,
So from there I learned something. I learned how to handle this type of relationship. So
Mm,
when it comes to my second relationship, I'm more experienced,
mm,
So I take it that hey, it is a life lesson. It is an experience. Okay.
mm.
But of course, during that time, when I go through it, is the most painful thing in the world, correct?
Yes, yes.
Don't fight with me. Don't say that, hey Alex, your one not so painful, my one more painful. Okay. But
All of us same.
to me that is the most painful already. Your one less painful than mine. So at least
Yeah.
to everybody, that is the most painful thing in your world. In your world.
Yeah.
Okay. So of course you also see that sometimes in the newspaper, teenager because of failed relationship, they decided to commit they eventually commit suicide. Right.
Yes.
To them,
Yes.
it's like they feel that that's the end of the world. But you come to think about it, you think their failed love is not as painful as mine, man. My one more painful than him, more. My one
Yeah.
more painful than them. But I look at it in a different way. That means I accepted this with a different perspective. I mean,
Yep.
it's the same event, but I decided this is a learning experience. This it will make me stronger. But for them, this is the end of the world. That's why they end their life.
Yep.
So it's about understanding what life is all about. It's
Mm.
understanding what life process is all about. A failure is only one part of our life. The
Yes.
failure is not a failure. The failure is there for us to learn something.
Yep.
So when I see the first chart, accept whatever that you need to accept. By accepting, you are learning new things. If you don't
Yes.
accept, if you don't accept, your life will be miserable. It's as simple
Mm.
as that. Yeah.
Mm. You know, like
That is the
every,
most important thing I learned.
yeah, every time I bring the guests that also money and you graduate like me, you know, like I relearn against something because everybody go to the same class, but we take home different flip chart. And only by sharing what flip chart impact our life, it's really is relearn for me. And today is same what I like, you know, I just relearn something and reflects again like, yeah, it's come back to responsibility to my own choice and accepted that the result right now I have, it's come from my action in the past. So I have to own it before I can move on, right? And the awareness of people who go to money and you, and of course I will recommend money and you for the rest of my life if you want to change your life, you know, right, Alex? Like how about you? Like if people haven't go money and
Yes,
you, what do you want to
definitely.
tell them?
Another thing that another flip chart that is I call it the first flip chart, the number one flip chart of money and you. Okay, for things to change, I must change first.
Yes.
So for things to, we always have this thinking, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to change this, we want to change that. Okay, but it's always only think only, but we
Mm.
never take action. We never
Yep.
take action. So for everything to happen, it must be action. It must be action. So same thing for feng shui. My feng shui is only teach you how to do this, do this, do this. But if you don't do it, then nothing will happen. Nothing will happen.
Mm. Yep.
So if you decided that you wanted changes in life, then you must action. If you don't
Yep.
action, nothing will happen in this world.
Yep. Wow, that is, oh my God. I you know, time fly until I don't even know where is time flies. Let's get to the one and last question for Alex today. And we have, thanks
Okay.
so much, Alex. You teach us so much.
No,
You
it's
share
my
with us
honor.
so much. It's from deep down your heart. I can feel it. You know, you willingly to give everybody more. And you know, we will meet Alex more and more in the future. Alex, so what one thing you want to tell Alex in the future, 5 years from now? What do you want to tell him?
You asking me or asking them?
You, I asking you, you talk, tell yourself, talk to yourself in the future, 5 years.
Oh,
If now you meet
what,
a future Alex, what you will
oh,
tell them?
what
To
I will
tell
tell
him.
him, Alex, you done very well for the past 5 years. Whatever that you do, you follow your heart. Okay, you did not you follow your heart with caution, and you help so many people because of your actions, your thoughts, and your sharing, uh, and and the biggest part is you did not take any credit out of it, lah. So well done, well done. That's what I will tell myself.
Thanks, Alex, and thanks to take the time to be on my guest on my show today. I'm
It's
sure
my
my
honor.
audience learns so much. Yeah, my audience sure learns so much from you today. And you guys, all the information about Alex, please keep in touch. Please get connect with him, and especially if you need something to look for your house. If you're in Singapore, calling him. Even if you're in Asian, call him lah. You know he will fly on. Alex will willingly to help if you are open to accepted, and trust me, I'm a person that not anyhow bring people to my show, and you guys know that up to now you guys been follow me, follow my work. You know how much I'm in passion about like authenticity. The world is enough of fake information, fake people, and just bring the thing like not real, and people start believing that. And I want to change the world by changing myself, that start show the world like life no need to be so hard. It still have a lot of good people, still have a sincere people, and we willingly to help with heart. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my Missy podcast, and I will see you guys again in the next episode. And bye, Alex.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for continue support my Missy podcast, and don't forget to